morning, Steve, and everyone else. It's Morning Mike's on a Thursday. Raise your hand if you love a Thursday as much as I do. Thursday is loaded with possibility. There's so much hopefulness in a Thursday. Well, Steve really loves a Thursday because Steve and I are old guys now, and we just declared on the world, a 4-day work week, right? I mean, it's just like I want it for the rest of America. I want it for everybody. I want people to spend more time with their families. Is this what I'm running on? Is this what I don't know. This is a good
bad platform.
A 4-day hard work week. Work hard for 4. I get up at 4:45 in the morning, almost 5 o'clock. But for 3 days, I'd like to just chill out. You know what I mean? And I'd like to just connect with the people that I love because I'm not going to be here that long. And even shorter if who knows? You don't know. Right?
The 4-day work week's great.
And Steve.
Oh yeah.
You only live once.
You only live once. We don't give ourselves enough credit though, Billy, because we do work on Sundays a little bit, get ready for Monday.
Oh yeah. Throughout the weekend, a little bit
of
light.
Working. It's light.
Oh, always, yeah.
But we're not, but yes.
Yeah.
What I like is when the show ends and we have a smoothie and we're like, we have a few hours right now to like go for a walk and reset because we have a couple days to figure out what's next.
It's nice. It's nice. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I got to say, just across the board, Jackie Ono. We love Jackie. Jackie, by the way, we noticed when you missed. I missed class yesterday. Billy and Steve, I slept right through. You know what, though? Jackie, we noticed when you're not here because you're such a presence, but I will say this. I love that you slept. Anyone who can get some sleep this day and age with all the doom scrolling opportunities and I don't know, whatever substances we have in our food and booze.
Doom scrolling thing? Are you in bed in the dark?
Steve, it's a legitimate problem for me. I have an addictive personality anyway, so less drinking and no drinking, and then a little bit of drinking, honestly. I might have had a glass of. Might have had like two small glasses last night.
Again?
Yeah. Well, my friend James, my best friend from boarding school, like I adore this guy. I mean, I love this guy and his wife, and then his business partner and his wife and Allie and me, and we went out to this great restaurant in Venice on Abbot Kinney. If you've ever been to Los Angeles, Venice is obviously it's the hip and happening sort of boho chic, vibey enclave of Los Angeles. And Abbot Kinney Boulevard is where all the great restaurants and chic stores and shops and boutiques are. And we went to this restaurant called Felix, which is kind of famous. And we had a table. And I was hoping that since the two of them were they're business partners and on a business trip, that I wouldn't be getting the bill. Although I did the old, I had the wallet.
You were thinking the whole
I timed it perfectly. I was like, oh, no. Okay. And this. And he goes, oh, no. We paid that.
You did the hand like I got this.
I got it. I was like, oh, this is so great. You guys are too mad. We sat and we laughed. Oh my God. This guy was so fun. Maybe you had that friend in school who, the teachers were on to. His grades were very dodgy like mine, but he always had a massively funny and charming excuse as to why he couldn't hand in his essay or something. He just always had a sweeping, giant performance for the teacher, and he was so charming they couldn't help but love him. So he got away with everything, but he was here, and we had a great time last night. But popped up at, drinking, then stopping and repeating is not good. Either keep with it or what kind of advice is this, Jules?
I don't think we should tell Billy this.
You know what? Half of your advice right here is keep drinking. Keep a steady flow of booze. This is nuts. What? Billy, drinking, then stopping. Yeah, see this? This is craziness. Okay, but I love you, Jules. I'm calling you out for your craziness.
But Billy, I'm not counting, but it does seem like now you drank last week and this week. I'm getting nervous if we're going off. Are we back slowly? We're easing into it.
Well, I've always said I'm not drinking forever. I just had but tonight I will not be drinking. Tomorrow, probably not drinking. I've got just be chilling. But this, was this a beautiful occasion? Oh, certainly was. It was a beautiful, and was the wine nice and paid for by someone else? Yes. Billy, I drank for 20 years and had my first child. I've been sober now for 14 of them. I promise your mental health, the clarity of life will be so much better without alcohol. That I agree with. No one can say your life is going to be, you're going to be sharper, smarter, more attentive, more present with alcohol. That's why you have to minimize it or eliminate it. So as I listen, moderation says Karen. Look, it's everybody's on a journey, right? I'm constantly noodling and figuring out, and I think I'm in a good place. Okay, I just want to say this. So, Allie, my girlfriend, her father, Warren, we call him Wawa. I do. Anyway, he's been in the hospital for like a week now, and it's been tough. He's had 2 surgeries, and on his abdomen, diverticulitis, and they had to go and do a robotic surgery first to clean up the inside, and then they had to go and do a laparoscopic surgery and find the perforation that was in there in the intestines, and they fixed that. But he's in a lot of agony. He's 83 years old and a lot of pain, and I think he's worried. And I just don't want him to be. We want to throw up a prayer if you can for Wawa and see if he can. He's got to rally that fighting spirit. This is a New Yorker. I got to remind him, Warren, you're a New Yorker. You fought tooth and nail through the garment district, right? And you built that great business and this incredible daughter of yours and your wife and the whole thing. Warren, you gotta find it. You gotta want it, and that's it. And there's no other option. So we're praying for him. Okay, sweet Wawa right there. It's amazing what this life just takes these turns, but. We love you, pal. You can do it. Look at that. BB right there. BB says, you can do it. Wawa. I like the name Wawa, don't you? Anyway, we're thinking about him. We're praying for him. Prayers up here for Karen. Karen is saying prayers up for Wawa. And you know what LaRue is doing? LaRue, I'll tell you what LaRue is doing, Steve. Wait, I got to find LaRue. There's LaRue. LaRue is thinking, I only drink when I go out. 1 drink. She's still thinking about this right now. But you sound like you might be convincing yourself. You're talking to yourself. I only drink 1 drink when I go out. That's all I do. Only 1. Sometimes 2. I will say that. Somebody I adore is very close to me who says, yeah, I only drink 1. I mean, do you?
Also, where am I? The one thing is interesting because if it's a martini about this big, like that's where the one thing gets interesting.
I did a post years ago. I had that giant decanter. It's a wine glass. It's a giant decanter, and I pour a whole bottle into it. And I said, just 1 glass tonight. And they make those. Okay, here we go. We all love a good time, says Rebecca. This is good counsel now. We all love a good time. The natural high is pretty damn good. We can all overdo it. We just need to be honest with ourselves and our loved ones. More free advice, worth what you're paying for. I think, Rebecca, this is very good. Listen to the people around you who love you, right? What are they saying? Because it's their experience with you that completely matters. Like your daughters, are you present with your children, with your significant other, wife, husband? Are you present with them? Or does it feel like you go somewhere else when this is present? And if that's what they're telling you, then listen. All right, here we go. It is a big day today. Hilary Clinton has been in the background for years, and now she is back on the stage. She's testifying today in front of the congressional, well, not in front, but the House Oversight Committee will be deposing her with their lawyers at her home in Chappaqua. It's her today. It's Bubba. Nice little chic little country home in Chappaqua, New York. There won't be any shame walks or perp walks or, parading them through the halls of Congress. It was negotiated. This will be done in their home. It'll be videotaped and released a few days later. Hilary has said she never met Jeffrey Epstein, ever. Bill, her husband, on the other hand, he traveled on Epstein's plane at a minimum of 16 times. So, sounds about right. Bubba will testify tomorrow. He's going to have to answer to that jacuzzi photo that we've all seen, photos of him and Ghislaine. He's never been accused by law enforcement of any wrongdoing related to Jeffrey Epstein. And he says he was unaware of Jeffrey's crimes. How long will that go? I think it's going to go pretty long with Bill Clinton. Les Wexner, who's a total scumbag, he lasted 5 hours last week. I think Bubba could be longer. The Clintons have agreed to 5 topics for the depositions. A person, familiar with the agreement between the House Oversight Committee and the former president have leaked this out. 5 topics. Alleged mismanagement of the federal government's investigation into Epstein and Maxwell, except he was president 1992 to 2000. The mismanagement really, would be later, wouldn't it be? The circumstances and subsequent investigations of Epstein's 2019 death. Well, that's a big one. I want to know what the hell he knew. Some people think that, of course, conspiracy theorists think that there was too much that Epstein had on Bill Clinton, and somehow he was involved in the whacking of Epstein, which would just be mind-blowing. Although every time I think, our government officials are not capable of this kind of thing, this is America, I'm always so naive. But I do want to know what the hell he knew around this time. The ways the federal government could effectively combat sex trafficking rings. Yeah, zero tolerance. Jesus, that photo of Bubba relaxed in the jacuzzi does say a lot about him. He looks so comfortable there. Looks zero guilt, absolutely glowing, and he's just glowing in there. He's like, God, Hilary, I'm so easy. Yeah. Did some guys who were on a cheating vacation like this, dude, I got to lob in a call to my wife. Oh yeah, we're at the golf club. Yeah, we're just having drinks at the golf club. Yeah, it's just the guys. Yeah, we're gonna play some poker. No guilt. I always want to know what happened the night that Bill was spent the night at Greg Norman's house down in Florida. Legendarily, when he was president, he came out on crutches the next morning. How hard did you party that you went in just fine and you came out on crutches? All right, so the way that number 3 is the ways the Fed can effectively combat sex trafficking rings. Good. Let's exhaust that. 4, how Epstein and Maxwell sought to curry favor to protect their illegal activities. I want to know everything you know about that. Billy, don't you think if they had more on the Clintons, Trump would be shouting it from the rooftop? Well, Trump's been, he's been saying that the Epstein files only reveal Clinton is a terrible guy and other people. I'm totally innocent. I never went to the island. And so far, Trump is, there is something that people are talking about with Trump right now, and that involves there's one thing that seems to possibly have been obscured, and I think that involves the young woman who I can't even talk about who bit him after some type of performance, allegedly. Anyway, and potential violations of ethics rules related to elected officials. All things we want to know. But here's what I really want to know. If I'm sitting in front of that committee and he's there, how old were the girls? What was your contact with them? What happened on that island that you went to, on that plane 16 times? Who else was there? Because a lot of this focus is on these, redactions of these young women and girls and their faces and things. And I'm not hearing enough about the men, the old, disgusting men. I want more on that. Did you ever hang out with Jeffrey and Donald Trump together and girls? Were the 3 of you ever together? What do you know about Trump's involvement? Did you ever have anything to do with his, like I said, whatever happened with him in prison? What did you know? And who the hell is this guy? Who is Jeffrey Epstein? What is he involved with? A foreign country? Is he connected to a foreign government? And which one is it? Is it Israel? Is he Mossad? Who is this guy? Bill, it would be really great if you would just say, you have to know. There's no question that Bill Clinton, to me, knows who the hell Jeffrey Epstein is. And if not, if you're just that horny and vapid, I always think of Bill Clinton as a very intelligent man. Are you that vapid that you're just like, I don't know who the guy is? He's just got a plane and he's got the chicks. And I mean, is that it? No, you know who he is. And I want to know it. Sick and tired of it, dancing around this creepy, weird guy who never made an actual, never made an actual trade and somehow has all this money and all these mansions. Hillary was fired up yesterday, and they lashed out at Representative James Comer, who's the chairman of the Oversight Committee conducting these investigations. This isn't yesterday. This is in the beginning when it was first announced that he wanted them to come in. The Clintons said, even though practice makes perfect, Jim Comer can't even lie well. Call Jim Comer's office and ask why the Epstein hearings are hidden from the public. That's interesting because, you'd think they'd want them hidden from the public. Then with members of Congress in their own party, in the Democrat Party, standing up for the victims and against them, the Clintons have always said this is, a witch hunt, like Trump does, partisan politics, a vast right-wing conspiracy. They then said every person has to decide when they have seen or had enough and are ready to fight for this country, its principles, and its people, no matter the consequences. For us, now is that time. Wow. That's kind of exciting. At least they're ready to go in there. He's going to humiliate himself. He's indicated that there will be some humiliation for him, but he's done that before. We know Bill Clinton likes young women. He had an intern in the White House who was 21 years old or 22 years old, and he had an ongoing, thing with her. When you are the president in your 50s and a 22-year-old girl, to me, my definition, it feels like a minor to me. That's just too young. I'm 54 years old. A 22-year-old to me would be, I couldn't look at her. Could not find any attraction to that girl. Something's wrong with you if you find that attractive. 22 to 54. You're off. Something's off with you. So, Bill, what is this? 18 as an adult? Bullshit. That frontal cortex isn't done, being formed until 25. So that to me, would be at least a line. If you're going to put a line somewhere, advance it 7 years. Epstein was living and thriving off hush money. Yeah, no, I think he was a blackmail tradesman. You know what I mean? He traded in the dark arts of blackmail. Billy, he did not have. I did not have sex with that woman, Monica Lewinsky. But I mean, just love Miss Bill. So today, it's Hilary. And really for no other reason than there's a lifelong obsession by many to see her locked up and put away. But it's a waste of time. I mean, honestly, we're not going to get anything out of Hilary. Liz Stein, who is one of the victims, said, why is the focus just on the Clintons? And why are we not focusing on the broader scope of the people that we need to get information from? I'm with Liz Stein, and I applaud the Clintons for at least, they didn't like voluntarily run in there. Hey, we want to talk. But they're doing it. It's going to happen. You're going to see it. It's going to be public. And they're setting a precedent. So how about others? Billy does good impersonations. Well, one of the guests at dinner last night said I did a good Billy Bob. I really don't. But they're English. They're British. So, you get easy laughs from the British because they can't do any of it. The last point that I'm going to make here on this is soon enough, Trump will be a former president again, and the House will be Democrat controlled. So future depositions for him and his family for all the grifting and potential acts above and around the law will be endless. Endless. When he's out of office and down in Mar-a-Lago and the Democrats control Congress, they are going to make his retirement life absolute. hell. He doesn't skate off into the sunset with his billions. Also today in Geneva.
Oh, Billy, I wanted to throw these. Speaking of Mar-a-Lago, everyone should be reminded of this.
Oh,
You remember where this is Mar-a-Lago, the Trump wedding.
do I remember? I was at that wedding too. I was there with my wife at the time, Sydney.
Certainly,
Look how
different
gorgeous
times.
Melania is. Bill's like, I'll take yours, you take mine. Man, look at that. Oh, Donald, you've done it again. Melania, look at Melania. I forgot. God, the dress, the jewels, absolutely stunning. Bill, where's that hand? Look at Bill's left hand. And by the way,
It is true.
she's got a clamp. She's got a clamp on the left side. She's like, just to keep that from slide. No, it's satin. You
Holding
can
it
slip
down.
on satin.
Holding it down.
Okay. I love that photo. Holy shit. I remember that wedding very well. Oh my God. At my table at Trump's wedding 2005, Chris Matthews was at my table. Chris Matthews from Welcome to Hardball. He was there, and next to us was like Simon Cowell, and Billy Joel performed that night at the reception. I danced with Star Jones and her closeted husband Al at the time, and Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. They were in our little dance circle. We had there was a after party at the pool, serving champagne and the whole thing. I will say that Trump and Melania threw a fantastic gig. All right, speaking of Hillary, before we move on, her post right after the State of the Union, this is yesterday. You didn't have to listen to Trump's rambling speech last night to know that Republicans are trying to make it harder for millions of Americans to vote, especially married women. I don't know why the married women part. I can say this. Yes. Yeah. You know what? But there's nuance here. Everybody's a little right and everybody's a little wrong. The Democrats definitely want to open up voting to to anyone, a bum on the street. Here, vote, because it benefits them. And Republicans want everyone to have to go through, deep hurdles to vote because they see it benefits them. But the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Do you need a birth certificate, and do you need a passport, and do you need all these, or can you just say, look, I live in this country. Here's my work. Here's my, my W-2. Here's my driver's license. And that be enough to be able to cast a vote because you live and work and pay taxes in this country. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? And I don't know why they can't get together, negotiate, and just, come up with a compromise. That seems to be where the answer is. Okay. Today in Geneva, this is happening right now. The United States and Iranian delegations meeting right now to discuss the nuclear program and ambitions of Iran. Is this another Jared and Steve, the Jared and Steve show? Trump accused Iran on Tuesday night of once again pursuing sinister ambitions, faulted its leaders for refusing to say what he called those secret words, we will never have a nuclear weapon. Although Iran has said over and over again, they are not seeking to develop nuclear weapons. I don't trust them. Of course, they are the world's largest sponsor of terrorism. Whoever they can give $1 to do something terrible to, Israel or America or any Western interest, they will do it. So I hope it goes well. And it's been, no secret that the leaks everywhere that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the top military guy in the country, Dan Kane, is saying, do not go to war. Do not. He's gone out of his way to leak sources to every major newspaper and publication. He does not want this to happen. And Trump, I assume, is intelligent enough to know that. Cuba, what is happening? Its border guard troops shot and killed 4 people on a speedboat in Cuban waters who were attempting to infiltrate for terrorist purposes, they said. Local authorities said the boat was registered in Florida and was carrying Cuban Americans, people who live in the United States. One of them opened fire on the Cuban border guards. 6 others on the speedboat were apparently wounded and are now detained. So everybody took some fire. The incident happened, this is yesterday, off the north coast of Cuba. What the hell is that? Do we have babies? Is Cuba like a next step problem? I don't know. I do think this, Trump could stop talking about Canada as the first state and start treating them with a little bit more grace and decency, as they are a sovereign nation and our friends. That said, Cuba, it's communist. They would be good to fold in and become the 51st state. I don't know. Beautiful beaches right there. I wonder if Howard Lutnick is investing in Cuba right now. Let's all see what Howard is doing and move our money. I just follow my money where Howard goes. That's my new financial strategy. Okay. Mexico. The Jalisco cartel boss Domicio El Mencho Oseguera Cervantes, known as El Mencho, the nastiest cartel boss in Mexico, killed by special forces, as you know. There's widespread cartel retaliation, turning our beautiful little happy hour at the Puerto Vallarta Marriott into a hostage situation. A new hombre has emerged as his likely successor. And guess where he comes from? Of course, he's connected and related. It's El Mencho's stepson, Juan Carlos Valencia Gonzalez. Ooh, he looks baby-faced and yet terrified. 5'9", 170. Guess where this guy's from? Look at it. Scroll down. Place of birth, Santa Ana, California. He lives in Orange County. The real cartel bosses of Orange County. What? He's 45 minutes down the road, this guy. And he's the new El Mencho Piquito. Oh, my God. What the hell is going on? He's got a rap sheet, though, this guy. He's a dual Mexican-American citizen. He's got a long rap sheet, described as a de facto second in command of the Jalisco cartel before his stepfather's death, making his promotion to head honcho now very, very likely. There are people right now in Orange County down the street and said that the guy down the street is the Jalisco. Holy shit, I think I was rude to him yesterday. As Trump said on Tuesday night, it is the golden age of America. So I just want to congratulate everybody in the chat and how rich you are. I can see that you're probably so loaded and you're feeling this, like you go to the grocery store and it's like they're practically giving you groceries. Do you feel that way? When I go to Gelson's down the street, I feel like it's a bonanza. Unbelievable. Here, have this, have that, and gas. They're paying me to fill up my tank at the gas station. It's incredible when I go in there. It's like, how do you call it the golden age of America when people just feel differently? You can't just tell them. Although he did tell me when, I told you, just tell them and they believe you. It's like the economy is not really about numbers anyway, even though everybody lies about numbers, just like in the TV business, we lie about ratings. It's about a feeling. The whole economy is just how people feel. And you can't, like anyone in a marriage knows, you can't tell your spouse, that they're wrong for feeling a certain way, right? If your wife comes to you and says, I feel like you don't listen. I feel like you are checked out. I feel like, no. What are you talking about? I'm totally checked in. I listen all the time. No, you're wrong. Well, there's no right or wrong when with somebody's feelings. And people don't feel like it's the golden age.
Sorry. I was going to jump in on the gas thing. I don't know if I'm just old, poor, or like my parents, but I actually
check.
I actually when I get gas, outside LA because my kids go to school outside LA, and it's cheaper because there's the taxes. The LA adds tax. And I would think to myself, I'm actually watching the gas prices when I get gas, and I'm looking for the extra 20 cents.
Wait, so down the street from your house, you're outside LA County?
I'm
no,
not,
you
but
drive
I'm
outside.
out there a lot, and I get.
So you always make sure to fill up out there.
And then I'm thinking to myself,
well, how much is it up there? Trump said $1.85 in Iowa. Lie. It's like $2.90 or whatever, but
well, I mean, in LA and LA
here
area,
it's $4.90 a gallon is what I see around Brentwood, like in the LA area.
Cheap, I think it's like $5.25, $5.30 for it, but you get about 20 cents less. You get out of LA, and I just laughed that I'm actually looking at the signs, like, oh, fill up now and save 20 cents. And then second part, Bill, I just
look at this. Look at this. Joyce says it's $2.35 in Texas. That's nice. $4.95, almost $5 here. It's been up to almost $7 in Los Angeles before. So I guess $4.90 is okay.
Bill, I got to do one more thing. And I'm interrupting. We got to welcome one more person here. Mom Cook 79, because this is a big deal. This is my mom.
That's mom.
She figured out how to chat. She's like, I'm in a chat. I hear.
No,
this is mom, Steven. And you know it because it's the only person in the world that calls me Steven with a PH that I let happen. That is mom.
Mama Harding. Guys, say hello to Steve's mom. The sun is shining on very large snow mountains is her report right there. Oh my God, she's giving us a report. She's Peter Murphy's very jealous right now. Very jealous. Good. Sherry, look at Sherry, says, good morning, beautiful people. Did you just get up, Cher? Mama is in the house, and Jackie's in the house because we know she didn't sleep in today. North Carolina, $2.63 at the pump. Interesting. Look at this. Arizona, says Betty Delight, $3.49 in AZ. Huh.
Billy, does that mean that it's California and LA that we're adding all the money to? So that's what the Trump would say. That's you guys adding all that money.
Yeah.
Is that how that goes? I mean,
yeah, it's state. He's saying, oh, this is, that's just terribly mismanaged. Gavin Newsom, he can't run against, he's throwing so many taxes on this. Trump doesn't, he knows he'll never have to worry about it again, but the party's never going to have to worry about California, at least in the future. So it's the enemy, Anyway, speaking of gas in my Massachusetts, the California gas tax. Yeah, see, and we're still broke. The state is still broke. $4.24 in Orange County down the street. Unless you're El Mencho Paquito, the new Jalisco cartel boss, then it's free, right? Because when you show up at the gas pump, sí, absolutamente. Absolutamente, señor. Please enjoy your gas. Here's a question about the State of the Union. Do you guys think it's outdated? Some people are saying, the social media crowd is saying that the State of the Union is so outdated. We have social media, we have podcasts, we have they used to do a weekly, chat. You could there's no short. Trump, he sits in the Oval Office and does a State of the Union every day. He loves to, with the media. Do we maybe, it used to be that we didn't see George H.W. Bush for a couple of weeks or a month, or, Reagan or Clinton. They were working, not performing. And so it would be exciting to see the president come out and deliver his prepared remarks. But certainly with Trump, it's like the demand to see him is negligible. Wow. Big fight today. The latest fight. It's J.D. Vance is leading this fight. ICE is out of Minnesota. They lost that battle, but the attack on Minnesota and Governor Tim Walz is far from over. It has only shifted. The Trump administration is withholding more than $250 million in Medicaid funds from Minnesota. Will not send the money, claiming widespread fraud for all of its social services programs. So that whole Somali daycare mess is now the principle and the reasoning to not send any Medicaid funds to the state. This is a war on blue cities, and you know it. So moving on to Nancy Guthrie, because we love Nancy. Shit. It's really coming. It's kind of the end here with Nancy, the investigation, and it's sad. I think everyone knows it. Savannah knows it. Um, she is owed, little Nancy, wherever you are, is owed such. She was failed. She was so failed. You know, the latest is the black SUV carrying somebody important who did not want to be seen, pulling into the garage out of sight to go into the house. The FBI is giving Nancy's house now back to the family. They've announced, you know, the family can go back in. It's no longer going to be an active crime scene. So that's it. Some two-bit schlub, yes, in fact, gets to grab a little old lady out of her bed in the middle of the night and get away with it, and do whatever he did with her, and not ever there be an exchange of money. So if you didn't want the funds, and who knows if those, you know, Bitcoin addresses were ever anything. No money was ever exchanged, so I assume that the account was, something's wrong with the account, or if it wasn't about money, what was this about? Just grabbing a little old lady out of her bed and doing something evil, and you know, I don't know, but apparently you can get away with it. The FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department, and they can sit there and blame each other. But it's like a total tragedy. She's like the John Benet Ramsey of old ladies. I can't believe it. I'm brokenhearted for. I mean, I guess, you know, I assume we'll see Savannah back on the air on Monday. And you know, I was talking to Kenny Albert. We had Kenny Albert on the show yesterday. The USA hockey women's and men's announcer, broadcasted the games. He's the premier voice of play-by-play ice hockey. And I said, we were talking after the interview, and I said, Kenny, what was it like over there in Milan at the Olympics with, you know, NBC News and the Today Show? He's like, yeah, oh my God, like, you know, breakfast conversation. People are just thinking about Savannah, and they canceled the whole Today Show over there. Normally, the Today Show does a whole big song and dance at the Olympics, and every athlete ends up on the Today Show afterwards. It's a whole thing. And that's the first time the Today Show hasn't been there in, oh God, got to be 25 years at least. So maybe she'll be back on Monday, but I'm just destroyed by this. Aren't you guys sick? Zach Peters says Nancy John Benet Ramsey. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. It's so disturbing. It really is. It's sad. And, you know, I don't think Savannah's back on Monday, they said. Okay, so heartbreaking. Once again, a crime scene that was not secured from the beginning and possibly contaminated any evidence that may have been present. So sad. Prayers keep pouring in. You know what it's about, Billy Bush. I don't. I don't know what it's about. I wish I did. I don't think she'll be back on Monday. Why are you saying that? I'm confused. I mean, it's been a month. They can't find her mom. She may want to go back to work, keep herself busy. That's what she does. I don't think work means you're a bad person or that you've given up. It means you need to keep your mind focused. I don't know. Maybe not. Has anyone ever checked into that show? It makes me sick, makes me call my mom every day. You know, I haven't called my mom in a while. Do you ever have that like holy shit moment where you haven't called your mom? Steve's mom's in the damn chat now. This is I got to get my mom in the you know what? Next week I'm getting my mom in the chat.
Seriously, let's get mom in it.
Yeah. And by the way, every time I say something like a little naughty or whatever, or like something should be Billy, you'll see it in there. We'll have live action parenting from my mom.
I will say, we're still sons even at our age, and it is like we talk about a bunch of stuff, and then you realize your mom's watching, and sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, what are we joking about?
Yeah. Oh no, I know you're not saying that, Billy. I'm just saying I don't think she's focusing to go back to work. She looks broken. My heart breaks for her. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know we're on the same page. I got you, girl. How long can they keep so many resources working on this? Uh, yeah, I mean, well, there's an article today talking about all the other missing persons who are not getting the attention for, you know, how this is the one we all know about. The whole world knows about, and oftentimes, it took a long time for us to put out the video to have something to go on to look for somebody, and we didn't even get the face. But think of all the cases in America where no one's getting that attention. You know what I mean? Maybe if Savannah goes back to work, it'll take away the attention the kidnapper is craving, and he'll do something to get her attention back and slip up, providing an opportunity to finally catch. That from Matlock. I like that. That's a good theory. Sherry, we'll always love Cher. There she is with her Reagan Bush hat. They took nothing from her house? Do you all think that the intention was to get a ransom, but because she didn't have her meds and pacemaker, it didn't go the way they thought? Yeah, I think they totally screwed up and, forgot her medication and all that. That's likely, isn't it? At this point, it's such a puzzle. And the douchey, egocentric sheriff, such a bad element. Yeah. Savannah and her siblings will have no peace until they find her. I mean, I'm always interested by that when people are like, well, if they find the body, at least they can have closure. And I think that I get that. I guess I've never been I've never been in this situation, but I guess, that's like grasping for straws, right? Any little bit will help. My heart aches for Savannah because she had a wonderful mom who was, a great mother and parent present in her life. And I've told you this before. When my father died at 89 years old, he was 35 minutes before his 90th birthday, 11:25 p.m. before his 90th birthday, sitting in the room with me, home from the hospital, where he knew he was going to die because he couldn't. There's this heart blood pumping machine in the ICU that he needed to stay attached to in order to keep living. The heart was too weak to pump on its own. And he's like, well, I'm not going to live the rest, keep living in the ICU. So they pumped him full of this fluid that would keep him going for 48 hours. And I'll tell you what a gift it was, not only to be the son of that great, great man, but to be with him in a totally peaceful, spiritual moment. His hair perfectly, a little, combed over after they, gave him a little bath, and he was wearing his little golf shirt, and as he slowly drifted off to another place, a tremendous gift. I got I remember the hospice people coming out saying, he's in the twilight now. There will be no response from him, but he can hear everything you say. And I was like, oh, this is my kind of argument with my father. He can't respond, but he can hear everything. All right, I win this one. So it's like, does anyone want to go in? I said, yeah, of course. And I went in and just got to say everything I wanted to say. And in the end, he sat there and held his hand, and he drifted off to another place. What a gift. Not only did that man live well, he died well. His exit was perfect. Savannah's not going to have that closure. It seems. Just mystery and brutality and in a world outlook from a generally positive person that she is, a world outlook that's just, sinister, sad, negative, like that these people out there exist and can do this. Tammy, my mom passed away in my house. I promised her she would not be in a hospital or nursing home. What a blessing, You can't avoid death. I mean, it's undefeated. but a beautiful one with closure. That's special for the people you leave behind. So that's where my heart breaks for her. Okay. What's happening? What's happening in the world elsewhere? Let's see. Who's got, oh, there's Tanja. Tanja. I remember sitting with my mom as she left this worldly life, and I got to say everything I never said. It's a gift to have been there. I'm with you. I've told you this before. I felt my father's spirit leave the room. I literally had my head down, doom scrolling. Yeah. It was like Dad hadn't talked in like 8 hours or something. So I'm sitting there, just bump, 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 bump. And I went, whoa. Wow. I felt it all over my body. Like the whole energy of the room shifted. And I looked over and he was like, his cheeks were even more sunken in. And he was a shell. And I was like, wow, that's the shell that carried you around. And the you that I know just went right through that ceiling and took off. I felt it. I've seen it. I don't need any other opinions about what happens. The spirit goes somewhere. You take it from the Bushman 100%. And that little shell was there. And later the medics came and they were like, do you want to see the body one more time before we zip it up? And I'm like, are you kidding me? It's a shell. He left. All good. You can take that. There was no, when the body left, I wasn't like, oh, there goes Dad. That's not Dad. I saw Dad. And I don't know where he went, like what the location is, but I do know if there's no question he went, Trump says, I don't know if I'm going to go to heaven or not. I don't think so. I probably don't. The way my old man lived his life, there's no question where he is. That man is in heaven. He was a man of integrity. Woo! Was he? And one of those old school guys. He had a beautiful little, he wore the little top hat, sweater, bow tie. He's always holding the door for, who really fell for my dad? You're going to go nuts on this picture. I'm going to find this picture for you guys. Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly was like, she was a guest on the Dad came to the Plaza in New York. We did Access Hollywood Live there. Megyn Kelly was a guest. And Dad was, she said, oh my God. She talked to Dad afterwards for a while. She said, where was this guy? Like, can we make a younger version of him? Because that's the man. A gentleman. The great Megyn Kelly. Oh, sure. It was a different Megyn then. She's Megyn's on a rampage right now. Sometimes I'm like, what are you talking about? And other times I agree. I don't know. I read this article the other day on I totally would have had a crush on your dad. Yeah, you would have. Everyone had a crush on my dad. Talk about a cozy man. You know what I mean? Like when I say cozy, it's just what you want in a man is like, do you feel totally comfortable in a room if you were left alone with that man? Yeah. In fact, with my dad, ladies, I would say this. You would prefer to be left alone in that room so you'd have all of his attention. And then no one else was there. Okay, here we go. There's Megyn Kelly and Dad. You ready? Here we go. Here we go. Oh my God, is he cute? Who's ready for it? You're going to die. It's so adorable. Is that cute? Is that good? Oh, I want to see the focus on her. See the little short haircut she had?
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, and then what? When it was time to say goodbye, she was like, oh no. Give me a giant hug, hugging the old fella. Oh my God. Yeah. I will never forget that week. You want to know how great that week was? After we had Megyn the next day, this is my last week on Access Hollywood Live. Look at this. Holy crap. Regis and Jerry.
Oh, that's so good.
Regis Philbin and Jerry Seinfeld. We had them on. Oh my God. Was that a blast or what? Holy shit.
I remember that show. I have a picture of you, me, Silver, and Regis. Like
Yeah.
that week, that show, I really remember that show.
I know. It was so great because we had Jerry on and then Regis after, and I was like, and normally celebrities are like, it's time to go, and they blast out. And I said, Jerry, if you want to stick around, we'd love to have you join, with us and Reg. And he was like, oh yeah, and he didn't want to leave the show. That's when you know you're on a roll, right? So Jerry stayed for 4 segments. I mean, he just stayed and with Reg, and kind of there was one full segment of the show where Reg and Jerry were just going back and forth. I didn't have to say a word, not a word. I don't think I said anything. I just sat back like this, and I said, "This is when things are working. When you don't have to drive this thing, you don't have to just let this happen. You don't have to talk." Regis, oh my God, Regis, Joy, Billy Bush. It shows up today. He wants my job. I swear to God. Last night we go to Circle. Bruno, I say, Bruno, do you have a table? He says, immediately. And of course, Joy and I sit down. Billy Bush was there across the room. Did I love Reg? Oh my God, what a beautiful man. You know what? It's like, Billy, can you get Robert De Niro on hot mics? Is that possible? Knowing Bobby, as I know Bobby, nothing worse than the guy who throws a Bobby in there, and it's literally, we love Regis. Billy Bush, there he is. We love him. He's a great guy. Regis is here, everybody. Regis, hello. He used to walk out of the studio, and the hot dog vendor on the street and the ladies getting hot dogs, and he had only like a block and a half walk to his apartment from the studio on the Upper West Side, 67th, I think, Central Park West in Columbus or whatever. And Reg would walk out. Regis is here. He'd say to everything. People getting hot dogs on the street, whatever. They go, oh, hi. He would self-intro, which I loved. He was absolutely the best. We would take this modern Regis act into what? Oh, you know what we need to do? This morning mics, hot mics, this kind of thing. We just need to like simulcast it onto some television station in honor of Reg. You know what I mean? No to De Niro. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When someone said De Niro, I said, how many people are saying the exact? That guy is like, you either love him or you hate him. What about Monica Lewinsky was groomed by a sitting president? Hilary is one scary woman. Yeah. Don't get me started on Monica Lewinsky. I mean, the fact that listen, I don't know Monica Lewinsky. I've reached out to her. We've tried to get her on. I mean, I don't know. I'm happy for her because things are going well, I think. But I've always said she was just treated terribly. I mean, the psychological impact on a woman that age. Of course, she's not wrong, nor guilty, nor, clandestine. Nothing, none of those terrible words apply to her for longing after the president of the United States and being starstruck and, wanting to be near him and even being attracted to him at 22 years old. She's, again, her frontal cortex is informed. She's got hormones firing. She took the heat for that. She became got all the labels. You know what I mean? That's all on him. That's 100% his fault. Oh, she's an adult. She knew what she was doing. She's 22. Fine. It wasn't right. But that's 100% on him. Power imbalance. Monica has had to live her entire life with that brand. Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to get Monica Lewinsky on this podcast. I don't know. But I don't know if I really want to talk to her about that. You know what I mean? Because of that fact, I'll be honest, like when I do other people's shows, I'm like, it's been 10 years since the bus, which I had nothing to do with other than ride on it and hear what he was saying. I got a clip of Howard Stern the other day. Howard Stern's going, could you bang 24-year-olds now if you wanted to? He had just married Melania to Trump. And he says, bang is the word. Can you bang 24? And Trump goes, absolutely, 100%, of course. He goes, how young would you go? And he's like, well, I mean, I can go as young as I want. I like him young, but I mean, not that young, not like 12 or anything. This is an actual clip between the two of them. Does Stern get canceled? The Stern, like, he's driving this conversation with Trump. Some others that I know and didn't say anything. It's incredible, the different standards we have out there. But I'd like to speak to Monica Lewinsky. I would. And maybe about other things. Like I was saying, like, do I want to like constantly hang this on her? Whatever she wants to talk about. You know what I mean? I do think she'd be happy to hear, hey, always thought you were, mistreated. And I admire your resilience in a tremendous way. To be that young and to fight for decades. How many therapist office and prescriptions was she offered to keep herself afloat? How she didn't do something, thank God for her family and whoever else, her inner circle who took care of her. Oof, how'd I get on that topic? But I really do feel passionately about Monica. It's almost like he's expected to behave that way. It's not fair that you didn't do anything. He actually is having a conversation and nothing's ever done. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Joy, I believe Jack White was the last birth. Just Lisa and Joy are talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's just fantastic. Look at what Stern had on his show years ago. I know. But then he became, a judge on America's Got Talent, which is like cookie cutter America's homegrown show. Like the rules are different for everybody. And I don't know what the algorithm for crime and punishment in America is, but it's fucked up. That's for sure. And it does not have any type of coherent strategy. Now, what are we going to do this weekend? What is everybody excited for? Do we have a positive week? Oh, I'll tell you what I'm excited for. Today, I have a terrible tennis elbow. I'm getting it fixed next. I mean, it kills, but I'm going to take enough of leave because today, my friend Reed Dickens, who I call him my broken ATM machine on the golf course, we gamble and play each other for money. And I usually beat him pretty badly. And I'm looking forward to heading into a long weekend with a stack of Benjamins in my pocket from him. I want to go home. I want to see Allie, and I want to say, sweetheart, here you go, babe. Here, this is for your mani-pedi this weekend. Throw this to the colorist for the hair. Here's a little extra for valet. Have a great time. Everybody likes a little wham, my dad called it. You know what wham is? And my kids always, and I, of course, we all repeat what our parents do. My kids say, Dad, when I ever take them out for dinner or something, little wham, what do we think? And in honor of Bob's, their grandfather, wham is walking around money. Oh. So he'd come visit me at school or college and he'd say, all right, how about a little wham? And he'd pull out $100 bill and I'm like, yeah. And boy, kids just explode with excitement when the dinner's over and you're saying goodbye to them and you give them a little wham. Walking around money. Dad had the best sayings. I quoted one the other day. Where there's a will, I hope I'm in it. That's my favorite. Well, love y'all. Have a wonderful, divine weekend. Billy, call your mom today. You're absolutely correct. In fact, should we transition from this show? Let's see if she answers. I know she will because she's going to be. Oh, it's my son. I have to run. Hold on. Yeah. Hello. Let's see. Does mom answer? And Steve, hit the music if she does.
Oh, I wish you were here sitting with Scotty and me.
Oh, mama.
And MK, the great fundraiser.
Oh, good. The governor had a good event, I hope. We hope it's going well. How is my girl? How are you there, Bubbles? What's happening?